Hello, and welcome back to the Brighter Podcast. My name is Chelsea.
My name's BatSheva.
And my life is infinitely brighter thanks to BatSheva.
My life is also so bright thanks to Chelsea.
We love to come on here and share tools, techniques, our own personal stories, triumphs, tribulations in hopes to brighten your day and to remind you that you are not alone. And like we like to do, we like to arrive in the space, in this internet space together, this technology space. So if you're at a place where you can soften your eyes or even close them, I invite you to do that. And we're going to take 3 breaths together. So go ahead and let all the air out of your lungs and take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Take another deep breath in the nose, filling up the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. And exhaling out the mouth, maybe letting out a sigh. Final breath, deepest one, all the way in. Hold at the top for just a second and exhale. Let everything that's ready to go, go. Welcome,
Yay.
welcome.
Happy New Year for anyone who's listening on the day this episode is dropping, or Happy New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year's Eve, 2025 in the books. Yeah.
Crazy.
BatSheva and I were just reminiscing about this year. We actually launched this podcast on January 1st, 2025. And what better way than to wrap up this year, this last day of 2025, with a recap. And as we said, coming on here, that we love to share these tools and techniques and our own personal stories in hopes that it helps others to relate, to feel connected, to know that they're not alone. They're not the only ones feeling or going through these things, and that there are different modalities that you can tap into to help navigate the rough waters whenever they come. So yeah, since we are in the middle of holiday season, we have both got the opportunity to use several of our tools and techniques in our own personal life. And so it's going to be a real treat looking back through the episodes and kind of coming to like what has been most helpful recently.
Totally. I actually told Chelsea I printed out a list of all 35 episodes up to today. Today's 36, which is a very cool numerological number because 36 is twice 18, and 18 represents Chai in Hebrew, which it means life. So today's episode is 2 times life, which lights up my woo-woo heart. So what we thought we could do is...
I want to say something about the numerology,
please.
Too. That's so amazing. 2 times life. There's 2 of us. And also, I was thinking 3 plus 6 is 9, and 9 is like the ending number. And this is the very end of the year. And so it's just like, whoa. Yeah.
Mind blown. I love it.
Yay.
Yay. Well, we are going to get to 2 different woo episodes. If you guys don't already know, we love the woo. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And it's the new moon here, because we're recording in November. We're about to hit the new moon of Sagittarius this week, which is a really beautiful and powerful portal.
I'm a Sagittarius moon.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Chelsea is my beloved Sag moon. Totally. All right. So as Chelsea said, we're going to review all the episodes, but we're going to share with you, what we're using, what we're not. So it's not just be like, and then we did this episode. And we would love to hear from you as well. So don't be shy, hit us up on all the socials or private message us, and we'd love to hear which episodes you loved and, what you're using. Some of you do reach out, and I really love to hear from you. So anyway, just encourage more of that and say thank you to those of you who do already communicate. And yes, we're in it together. Okay, without further ado. So Chelsea, what was the first episode? You remember? What was it?
Was this a 10-day silent meditation right for you? A 10-day silent meditation retreat right for you?
Yeah.
How we met, how we bonded.
How we bonded. And also this Vipassana meditation technique that they taught us there, that they drilled us in and tortured us with, I say that with some levity, has been the number one tool that I've continued to use over the past 2 years for meditation. And I 100% have been transformed into a more grounded and intuitive person who hears my inner voice more clearly, thanks in large part to that Vipassana 1 hour sit. So thanks, Gawinky.
Yes, I believe it is www.dhamma.org.
Right,
if you are
DHAMMA.
if you are interested in going to your own, like we said in the episode, it is free. It's by donation, but you do have to register, and you got to be like pretty much in line to be a new student to get accepted, because they fill up so quick. So we will put the link in the notes so that you can get to that. Yay.
Cool. All right. So the next few, we did the daily W's, Wreck It, and the Witness Within method. Do you have any?
Oh my goodness. These are so amazing because number one, the daily W's, obviously we use it on every single episode and we use it in our lives every single day. And I don't know that I've ever had more massive shift and manifestation and everything in my life using this. It is incredible. If you have someone that you can do this with, or like we say in the episode, sometimes BatSheva or myself would do it, like just record it to ourselves, like via the voice memo. It is really powerful. And I've had a lot of clients that have adopted this and are already seeing the results. And then also the Wreck It, love it. Fucking taking my power back of anger, because for so long, it was something I didn't want to feel or that didn't feel safe. And wrecking something and being able to express all the emotions, all, as Mama Gina likes to say, all 88 keys of myself, being able to express that in a healthy way and to discharge that emotion so that I'm not carrying it around with me, so that I'm allowing it to be seen, to be felt, to be heard. Love that one.
And I've used that as well. I've smashed a coconut recently, and it just reminds me I need to get another one. I have some more smashing to do.
I have one upstairs. I'm going to use it today.
Yeah. Oh my God, girl. Yes, exactly. As Chelsea mentioned, we are also experiencing our own holiday merry-go-round of emotions and triggers. So yes, I'm going to get more coconuts.
If you think you're enlightened, wait till the family comes around. That's like a famous, I forget who said it. I think it was like Gandhi or the Dalai Lama. He's like, yeah, if you think you've reached enlightenment, just go spend a week with your family or your in-laws or whoever and see how enlightened you are. So yeah.
Amazing. And then the Witness Within method, I still use it, and it happens sometimes organically for me when I'm doing the Vipassana sit. Like I'll have like these witnessing within and the emotions released. But I also want to add that, as Chelsea knows, on my walks that I take on the regular without my phone or a dog or anything, I just walk, I started to do tapping, EFT tapping on those walks just with myself. I learned the technique already from a practitioner and from videos. I'm not an expert, I'm not certified, but I have to say it literally is very, very simple and it works. So it's not like one of those things that you have to be certified or don't use it. Like there's no danger. And so I would just recommend to anyone who maybe didn't quite click or understand how to use the Witness Within method to reveal and heal emotions that are kind of trapped and stuck. Tapping is the freaking bomb. That's what I wanted to say about that.
I love that addition because, yeah, especially like the last like several months, you've literally tapped into that method and used it so much, and it's been really successful for you. So,
yeah, totally. Awesome. All right. The next 3, Karmic Divine Journey, the Body and Wellness episode, and is a 3 to 7 day water fast right for you? Okay, hang on. Let's start with the Karmic Divine Journey. Do you have anything about that?
I feel like that this year it's become like I've appreciated more of my own karmic divine journey, and I've been able to kind of see like where things tie together and kind of laugh at them or just have an appreciation of, oh yes, and this happened, and of course, it had to happen for other things to happen, and being grateful for it. So that's kind of my take on that.
I think for me, it's really shown up in relationship, intimate, romantic relationship, really feeling deeply like my karma with other people. Also, having the opportunity to continue to practice and build the muscle for me of giving it up, offering it over to the divine, my karmic journey, like not wresting control and like figuring it out and like making a decision based on one thing, one way or another. Like, as any of you and all of you know, intimate relationships can get complicated at times. And lately, myself, I've felt a lot of that wonderful, incredible, beautiful, and love-filled confusion and angst and anxiety. So it's not all one thing or the other, but it has helped me a lot to think about karma and just remind myself over and over, there's a plan. I don't know what the plan is, but I believe and I trust in it. I'm going to surrender to that plan. I'm going to just listen to my inner voice, take one step at a time, and trust, 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 trust. So
I love that. Yes, offering up to the divine.
and you know what? If you want, let's go ahead and group these three together, even though the other one's a bit later. But let's do the body and wellness, 3-day water fast right for you, and a detox cleanse right for you, and the Korean diet. There we have 4, because those are all 4 about body, wellness, health, detox. Take it away.
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like that this was something that we definitely bonded immediately over as well, is just the curiosity of how can we be better? How can we feel our best? How can we treat our body, the sacred temple that it is? And how can we also take it from BatSheva and I, if you haven't been listening, you will find that we like to learn about many things and then kind of make our own concoction, if you will. And that's kind of what it has been as well with like the fasting and with the the introduction of different foods and the new Korean diet. And basically we are a experiment, like a lab experiment. And we are just gathering all this data and, okay, seeing how this responds, seeing how we like that. Like, what does it do? How do I feel? And really taking notes of what that looks like for us. So yeah, it's been a beautiful journey.
I really feel exactly the same way. And actually, Chelsea made me realize that we could also group the plant medicine episode with this because, what's the name of it? I'm looking for it now.
What medicine is right for you?
Medicine, yes. What medicine is right for you? Episode 23. Yeah, same thing. It's like
everything is medicine.
Yeah, everything's medicine, including all the food or the fasting or the everything in between, and seeing the people in our lives and our experiences and our environment. And you're right, we are the petri dish in the most beautiful way. I don't mean that in any negative sense, but like we're all unique and there's no one size fits all. We need to get the fuck out of that mindset. That's like my fucking New Year's resolution all over again. We're so unique. Let's find out what is right for us.
Yeah, and celebrate it.
And celebrate it.
Celebrate it and let the uniqueness
it.
shine. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And nourish it with what lights you up and helps you grow and evolve internally, externally, and all between. And if something that worked last year, you're doing it again and it's not working, that's great. Amazing. Keep going. You're still alive.
It's all about awareness of, okay, how am I feeling? How am I feeling in my body? Like, instead of getting distracted and being outside of it. I just want to add to it too that I'm so grateful. This kind of goes back to the karmic journey. I'm so grateful of my time as a RN in the hospital acute care ICU setting for 15 years because it really gave me so much desire and drive to know how to take care of myself so that I never ended up there. And that has been a big part of my own path. And I'm just really grateful for it because I feel like that's led me to all the wellness.
And from what you shared, you also witnessed firsthand how the Western medicine world doesn't have the answers that it professes to have. So we have to go and look.
Yeah. And also everyone it's the same protocol, no matter your height, your weight, your ethnicity, like anything. Like, oh, well, this is what we give.
Your ancestral trauma.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. What is going on here?
My ancestral trauma is different from yours. How are you going to give me the same diet, the same recovery protocols?
Right. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I joke about it and I love to laugh and I love making fun of all the woo and it's fucking real. That's what I have to say.
And yeah, and with the fasting, that's like a whole nother like the water fasting and the
I mean, by the way, are we doing that again this fall? We actually originally said we were going to, remember, twice a
we
year.
should. Maybe like
Gulp.
right
I
after
don't know if we missed
Thanksgiving.
her.
I think
I
we
wonder
did.
if we
I think
missed her.
she might have done it in September, maybe.
September. Yeah, we missed Mindy Pels. Okay.
I'm sure
now I have to
everyone
remember to
could use
tag
a
her
fast
too.
after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. All right. We're going to bookmark that, put a pin in that for a later date. All right. So next we have these three. Well, I'm going to group these ones. Let's see. The low point. Is it better to set goals or just go with the flow? When life gets challenging, how do you comfort yourself? Would setting better boundaries benefit you? And is a breakup always in your best interest? We'll just put all those together.
Well, I feel like peak experiences should also be in there.
Peak
It's like the low
experiences.
point and the peak experience. Like,
you're right.
Which one?
The bookends.
The pendulum.
And putting the boundaries in between. Yes.
Yeah, the healthy balance.
Yeah.
Whew.
And is a breakup always in your best interest?
Yeah,
oh my
why
goodness.
don't you go ahead and dig into that one?
No. Well, it will be interesting once this airs, what's going on in my personal life. But, my first relationship out of the gate of 3 years of celibacy post-marriage has been incredible and filled with lots of peak experiences and some low points and some challenges and many opportunities to go with the flow and many opportunities to set boundaries. And I am right now, honestly, in a place where I do not know. I can be completely honest. Today, as I record this, I do not know if a breakup with this person is in my best interest or not. And the wonderful thing I'll just add about how I'm doing is I'm doing fucking pretty well. First of all, I'll just acknowledge that. Considering, I would say, years past, if I were in this kind of a dilemma at the moment, I think I would have been in a much more heightened state of fear, upset, anxiety, hysteria even. So that's something I'm just like off the cuff thinking about and being grateful for. And being able to hold space for myself and use support systems internally and externally as I navigate this process. Because like being okay with not really knowing exactly what is going to be in my best interest.
You've also been
continued.
Offering it up to the divine.
Oh, have I ever? And I will take this opportunity to do it again. And enough on that. Okay, so the next thing we have is a daily journaling practice right for you? Is a morning routine right for you? And what is your creative outlet? I'll group those three together because they kind of go together.
I definitely want to touch on the morning routine because this has been something that I will say up until probably the last couple weeks, maybe the last 6 weeks, whenever I have been in a new training, I was pretty strict, pretty rigid on the morning routine. Like, it happened pretty much every day, no matter what, even if I didn't want to do it I had to feel pretty bad. But like this week, I've been on my moon and there was like really no question of I'm going to do all of those things. It was just like, oh, if I feel like doing it, I'll do it. But years prior, it was like very, like I said, or even months prior, it was very absolutely doing it. It's the first thing I'm doing as soon as I get up. And so, yeah, finding the balance for myself. And it's not that there hasn't been any routine. It's just that like really tuning into myself and my body and my cycle and where I am and the weather and everything else that's going on. And asking myself, like, what feels most nourishing? What feels most supportive? What feels in alignment right now? Instead of shooting all over myself or having these expectations of things that aren't fitting in the moment.
And you even said the word, which was your word of the year, which we'll all choose our new words of the year in a future episode for 2026. But Chelsea's word of the year was balance, and that you literally just said it. That's so beautiful that by the end of the year, you're fulfilling the promise of that word. Go you. Love it. And I still am doing my 3 pages every morning, my journaling, and it's definitely a bedrock of my happy existence. And the creative outlets for me, as I've shared over and over, were literally just the key to unlocking so much joy, happiness, self-love, feelings of self-worth. So whether they're on a small scale or a big scale, truthfully, I haven't had the opportunity to do them on a big scale other than a show at one club, a couple shows, or like the Substack that I now am on, which is a platform not everyone's heard of, but like writers can actually have like paid subscribers. And I do have some paid subscribers, and my writing is reaching more people. But nonetheless, like just the outlets themselves that I've used and committed to and recommitted to in the stand-up comedy I've done, I mean, just it's really given me new life. So I cannot recommend that enough for others. And I'm definitely recommitting to that for next year, for sure.
I feel like that my creative outlets, the sound baths and just like the sound journey that I've been on and hosting more retreats. Like I hosted the most retreats I've ever hosted this year in 1 year. I believe it was 4 or 5. And wow, the creativity and stuff that goes into it. And it feels good. Feels real good.
She wrote a book, by the way, for her clients who want to do plant medicine journeys with her or even on their own. So check out soulscription.life if you want the actual book. It's like 1 million pages and it's written from the heart and it's incredible. So yeah, I'm definitely advising everyone to go get your cacao and get that book if you know what's good for you. All right. So we kind of blew through a lot of these, but I think we're good. Well, interesting. What does aging mean to you? I literally today in November, what day are we? The 19th that we're recording. Today, my Substack was published and the title is How Old Are You Now? And it's a whole meditation and storytelling about aging.
Like, yeah, how old are you? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, the title is How Old Are You Now? And then the subtitle is And Who Fucking Cares? Who gives a fuck? Something like that, exactly. So we have What does aging mean to you? And that's pretty much what it means to us. Like, who fucking cares? And this culture cares, which fucking sucks. So let's be the change we want to see in the world. That's sort of like the thesis,
I want to add something to that because I heard you, actually, we were on the phone last night and you said something that I have felt so deeply and I just hadn't put words to it. And that was talking about someone who was talking about like, they just wanted to like retire and like be on the beach and, drink beers or whatever. And you articulated that like see yourself retiring because there's so many things that you want to do, really like living life like to the fullest, like until it's done. And it's not like work whenever you're doing what you love. You didn't put yourself in these situations where you had to like literally give your soul for monetary exchange and it's like suck the life out of you so that all you want to do is like lay on a beach. And I was just like, yes. And yes, because I have felt that too. Not that I want to have to like work like 40 hours or 60 hours a week or anything like that, or that, of course, as I'm older, the assets will grow and then there will be more and more of doing things that I want to do. And also, I'm doing that right now. So just like living how you want to live your entire life, not waiting until you're 55 or 60 or 65 or whatever to do what you want to do, doing it.
And by the way, I'm 55. No, I'm 53 and I am just starting now. But also it's never too late is like totally the message. And I was thinking as you're saying that, I wonder and I think that somewhat like I would almost say astrologically or like let's say just the genetic makeup of a person like energetically will incline different people towards a different goal and dream. So I can totally respect people who do want that just calmer, quieter life towards the last however many years and they want to just spend with family or they just really want to be on that beach because they didn't get to have it. Like, I totally respect that. But yeah, as Chelsea said, and it's just simply like not how I feel. I literally feel so excited for my life. I feel like I am just getting started and I'm happy about that. And I think it is nice to give myself that permission and to give each other permission. And it's really helpful to have a community of people who feel like that because the support is really helpful. There's not that many role models at this point of women who start their midlife journey as far as like what they want to do with their life and then really reap the benefits of that life. So yeah, I feel like that's what we're doing. We're doing that.
I love it. It's so inspiring and just like, yeah, like you can do whatever you want any time that you want. There's just like we were saying, everyone's unique. Follow your own path.
Totally. All right, Chelsea, you ready for the next one? I'm just going to give this one to you. Are you a people pleaser? Episode 20.
Oh, gosh.
No, you're not.
I was going to say, I've made huge strides in that. And the trainings that I've been doing most recently and the work that I've been doing with myself have really allowed my inner bitch to come out and for me to stand in my power and to not people please and to really recognize whenever I am and then discern like, okay, why am I doing it? Is it warranted? Kind of like dig a little bit deeper into it and figure out if it's for me or for someone else.
And I recently recognized, again, being in an intimate relationship especially, but not solely with that. It's also been with friends and family. I've just once again, not discovered because I've seen it before, but understood that part of me that always felt like I had porous membrane as far as feeling other people's feelings and thinking their thoughts, and that empathetic mindset that I was gifted with from long as I can remember. And it unfortunately led me for most of my life to seek the feelings and thoughts of others so that I knew how to think and feel myself. And then that leads to people pleasing, because if I'm getting my cues from them, I want them to be happy. I won't be able to really handle if they're not happy. And as Chelsea and I also spoke about on the phone, or we mentioned the other day, like, it was brought to my attention too, even as a performer and a writer, not looking to please an audience or please the readers. There's a higher dynamic and connection that I want to aim for, which is, simply just sharing and connecting without that other element. And so I will just admit, like, I'm in it right now. Like, I'm definitely in that process, that cocoon. I think I'm still the mushy caterpillar. I don't feel like my wings have totally spread. Like, just now when you're like, I'm embracing my inner bitch, I was like, I fucking want to embrace my inner bitch. Like, what about me? So I think I have more of that on the horizon. Stay tuned, audience. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
You do. You already do. You're wiggling out of that cocoon.
Wiggling out of the fucking cocoon.
Yeah. You're building, that's whenever the butterfly builds up all its strength is getting out of that fucking cocoon. And that's what you have been doing. And you're almost out.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I accept that. I receive that. And I love you. All right. What about this? Is the woo for you, part 1 and 2? And do you use the M word, which stands for manifestation? Because that's kind of a woo concept. Take it away.
The woo is definitely for me. And I love that we talk about all the different things. And it's kind of like really uncovering some of the myths and the religious shit that they pile on top of the woo to make it seem like it's like all these like terrible things or scary things. For me, a lot of bless everyone that like has a religion that they really love and adhere to. And for me, I see just so many fear tactics in most of them that I'm just like not really interested in getting on board with that. But I feel like that we debunk a lot of the shit that is piled on these woo techniques. And, we just basically come back to, it's all about your own inner voice. It's all about your own intuition and just using these tools to kind of shine the light or to bring more clarity or to reassure you that you're on the right path.
Oh my God, a story just popped into my head that I want to share, which is a little bit hilarious, because the woo, it means, we didn't really define it right now, but it's like astrology and past lives and things that you can't see, but that are there, like the divine and love and higher selves, all of our inner parts of ourselves, tarot, oracle cards, numerology. Like, that's just like tip of the iceberg. But I just wanted to share was like, so in the relationship I'm in right now, he's very spiritual, and that's definitely something we connect about. But he's not really interested in, or he hasn't shown any interest or real belief in past lives or astrology. And when I asked him about tarot, he was like, oh, no. Like, my father, he respects his father like greatly. And he was like, no, my father said that's like, stay away from it. Like, negative energies can attach to it. And I had just bought myself, I didn't tell him this, but I had just bought myself a tarot deck like a month or two before he and I started dating. And I just started to use it for the first time in my life. And for anyone who doesn't have experience with tarot, it does have like some different connotations, but the way I've come to understand it and use it and was shared with me is that the cards themselves, you use them and they are an extension of the person who created the deck and of like that structure, and also of you and your energy. It's like another way for the divine to be able to talk to you through you, is what I believe. Okay, you don't have to believe it, but that's what I believe, and that's how I used it. And I was using them pretty successfully. And when I used them, when I first got in the relationship with him, I remember I had this spread. I was curious about him, and the spread made me a little bit cautious about what I was getting into. And interesting, I took pictures of that, and I've looked back at it, and it doesn't look as scary to me now as it did when I first saw them, which is one thing that's interesting. Secondly, after I got kind of freaked out by the first spread, I was like, wait, well, like, what about just like, give me just like one word for this guy? And I drew one card, and it was generosity. And to be honest, if there's one word I could sum up this person with, it is literally that word, generosity. And I was like, ooh, that feels good to me. Like, that's okay. So cut to last night when I'm like going through all of my, let's say, confusion, or, not knowing if the breakup is right for me, is going to be right for me or not. I was having trouble falling asleep because my thoughts were swirling, which lately hasn't been happening, but last night it was. And I was like, I'm going to use the fucking tarot deck. I haven't used it since he told me his feelings about tarot, because it kind of like influenced me. And I was like, not that it made me think differently about it, but I'm like, oh, I'm just going to like let it go for now. So I went to my deck last night, and I'm like, this is only about him. And I'm investing my thoughts and energy into the deck, and I'm like shuffling, and I'm lay out 3 cards. I wanted to see past, present, and future. And I was like ready to see anything. I was ready. And literally, Chelsea, I'll probably share with you later, like, the cards I got are just like beauty, lightness, love, rebirth, happiness, joy. I was like, wait, what? I was like, that wasn't what I expected. So again, it's not as if like, we don't let the woo control us. We always rise above and, tap in. It's just like having a friend or a therapist share with you or reflect back to you at the very highest of that kind of communication. Just reflect back to you what you're sharing with them, so that you have a way to kind of see your own thoughts and feel your own feelings a little bit detached from like having them be within you. Anyway, it was just another little piece of information, but I thought I'd share that since we talked about the woo.
Also, I just want to add that it's like you get to choose what you're taking with you. With any modality, with any technique, with anything that you go to, any seminar or class or whatever, there's always the invitation, or in my opinion, there should always be the invitation to take what works for you and leave the rest. And, if you draw a card and you're just like, holy shit, like, no, this does not make sense, then you leave it. Like, there's nothing that's tied to it that's like, as much as some people may say that there's these energies that attach to you, like, you get to choose. You get to choose what's attaching. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And even voodoo. I mean, Chelsea and I don't remember the guy's name, but we heard an episode. Antoine, what was his name? Some Spanish speaking guy was on Know Thyself podcast, and he was sharing early in his journey. He was in Cuba, and someone did like real voodoo with him and on him. He didn't believe it, and they proved it to him, and it like was crazy. We'll put that in the show notes too. I got to remember that. So again, like Chelsea said, if you don't want to fuck with it, don't fuck with it. And but on the other hand, it can be for those of us who enjoy that kind of expansion into different realms. It's wonderful.
And human design and astrology and your birth chart and your gene keys and like all the different things. It's really just an opportunity to take in more data about where the planets were whenever you were born, about what was going on astrologically. I mean, the moon controls the ocean tides. How could it not have any control over us whenever we're made of 70 to 80% of water? It's like simple. It's that simple. It's like I was just listening to someone who was like, yeah, like now there's all this talk of like nervous system regulation, but like basically nervous system is just an exchange word for energy. It's just like for people to feel more comfortable talking about your nervous
like
system
science,
instead of saying
exactly.
like your energy this or your energy that. And it's like,
totally.
It's been around, but like,
yes,
the explanation of it. So
the Western scientific world, they come late to the game, and sometimes they don't come at all, but sometimes they do. They arrive and they just have their own language to make themselves feel better, We're like, duh, the rest of us who already got there. Like the podcast about the nonverbal autistic children, the telepathic tapes, it's called, this podcast that's kind of rocking the scientific and logical world. She's a very, very scientific researcher who's now doing documentary, and she did like tons of research on telepathy and how nonverbal autistic children forever have been telepathic, and their parents and caregivers knew about that. And only now that it's being quantified and documented and proved, is anyone allowed to talk about it? And like those of us we're like, yeah, and like, tell me something I fucking don't know. Like, obviously.
I mean, I can remember my mom's like totally not into any of the woo, but she's totally into all of the religion. And she would always be like, autistic children, special needs, however you want to word it, that they are angels. That they all came down and they are just like here to help us and to assist us into being the best versions. And so it's like whatever title or label or definition you want to put on things like that makes you feel good.
All right, let's keep going here. We skipped over the M word, but I think that's cool. Getting feedback, criticism, divine timing, and protect your energy, aligning the inner and outer voice.
Getting feedback and criticism, still something that I definitely work on. I think for me, it's really just becoming aware of it and then knowing like, okay, what feels good? And for me, that is to sit with it, like to not have an immediate response, but just to like, all right, to read it and then just to walk away from it and come back to it in a different, like after a little bit of time has passed. That for me has been the best so far.
And she's saying reading because she's reading some shitty feedback from people who stayed at the Airbnb. But yeah, like it's real. It's very practical, that advice. And the divine timing similarly has been very practical for me lately, just with random schedules being flipped upside down and turned around and things I thought were going to happen not happening. The whole concept of trusting in divine timing, it's been essential for my inner peace. So,
yeah. And I also think that too, a big part of the feedback and criticism has been my own self-worth and self-esteem journey. And it's just like I think that we say it in the episode of like, if someone tells you that you have purple hair and you don't have purple hair, then you're like, what the fuck? Like that doesn't affect me. And so really just like having that own foundation of who I am and what I bring to the table and how that, everyone doesn't perceive it the same way. And that's okay because I know what I am.
And we can use the practices from Protecting Your Energy episode number 31 to help protect that inner energy. All right, let's back it up. What about pretty privilege, self-love, and the glow within? And I'm going to couple that with keeping up with the Joneses. And I'm going to couple that with the honeymoon phase and the art of gifting, our last episode that we just did before this one. Take it away.
Pretty privilege. Very interesting because I felt like that has definitely pertained to me throughout my life. I feel like it was something that it was a privilege. And also I just did a little spring cleaning about men and just like the feeling of that something was owed or that, that they were giving me this attention because of my beauty and that I needed to reciprocate in some way. And so, yes, there is a part of pretty privilege and then there is a part of it that isn't quite so privilege-y.
That's beautiful. Let's see. I'm going to keep it going because we got to,
Keeping up with the Joneses. I mean, I feel like it says for itself and that it all comes back to really what are your values? What's most important to you? How do you discern? And what do you place value on?
And the art of gifting. Mm-hmm. Really, that was just last episode, but it also had to do with
keeping up with the Joneses in a way of, like, what are you buying? And I'll never forget. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I just remember this story. My late grandpa, RIP, I will never forget one Christmas. He was very loving and he also loved like jewelry and spending money and all the things. And he always bought us lots of Christmas and whatnot. And his birthday was Christmas Eve and he was at our house. And I remember I was like in college, but I didn't like spend a lot of money on him. And I didn't really even know what to fucking get him. Like he liked guns and jewelry. And like, I mean, come on, I'm in college. So I framed like a picture of us and I gave him that. And just like his reaction to it and the way that he like like kind of like tossed it aside. And I don't even remember if I think that he even like kind of like laughed. And I was like heartbroken. Like I like went in the other room and I was crying, and my mom came in there and she was fucking pissed. Like she went out there and she like gave him a piece of her mind, and he like completely apologized. And it was like this, and then I felt like so uncomfortable because I was like, oh, I didn't want anyone to know that like my feelings were hurt. But I can remember my mom being like, oh hell no, motherfucker, you're not gonna make my daughter feel like that. And
Good.
it was,
I love that your mom stood up for you, though.
yeah,
That's amazing.
she did, and she always has. So it was really like, but that just reminds me of like the gift giving, and
Yes, because we give from the heart, but is it received always?
Right,
No.
right.
Oh my goodness. So interestingly, regarding the holidays, I skipped over one. Our episode 12 was, is it possible to maintain homeostasis while away from home? And that had a lot to do with some of the routines that we recommended people do ahead of time, and to get in the mindset of like going with the flow and trusting divine timing, and also continuing to hold on to your boundaries as you travel, as far as balance, but also what important routines will help you stay grounded within yourself.
Yeah, I think also like the protect your energy could go along with that one too, to whenever you're around someone or you leave a situation, or, just something doesn't feel right, like taking a shower or using some incense, or, even just creating that little barrier around yourself. That's something I literally do all the time. Anytime that I know that I'm interacting with people. I will say this morning I got a little thrown off because I was not expecting. And now that I look back, it's a lesson, and I'm taking it away of like, oh, I can do that in the car right before I get out. I knew that I could do that. And I just like, this is a good moment for me. Big takeaway.
Well, now I think we've actually hit every single one except episode 33, which for some reason I've completely blanked out about what exactly we talked about, but I love the title, which is Pleasure and Pussy Power. We love pleasure and we love pussy power. And what else?
Well, for me, what comes to mind is just thinking about the role of pleasure and finding pleasure in everyday life. And it's interesting because I think about sometimes like my mom, like referring to my dad, like, oh, everything's turned into a game. Our dear friends, Jackie and Andrew, like Jackie would be like, oh, Andrew turns everything into a game. Or my husband, Hunter, like, it's just like, yeah, like they're always, I feel like that men sometimes have a little bit easier time to like turn things into games. And also like they, at least most of the men that I know, have their hand on their genitals several times a day, And so they're connecting with their self and their pleasure center personally. I mean, at least my upbringing or as a girl kind of taught not to do that. And I don't know that we necessarily like say this in the episode, but kind of getting back in touch with yourself and connecting to yourself.
Holy shit. You literally just blew my fucking mind right now, Chelsea. You definitely didn't say that in the past episode. What? I mean, my mind was just fucking blown.
And
literally
the power of the pussy and the portal that it is to life. Every single human came through C-section or whatever, but
yeah.
They were there back in the day,
yes.
You came through a pussy. And
yes.
Wow, how miraculous it is.
Wow. Like normalizing girls touching their pussies throughout the day. Holy fuck.
No, they were taught not to. I mean, how better?
No, I'm just like, I'm imagining like if our world fucking, it's hard to imagine because we live in such an opposite. But why is it hard to imagine? Because you're right, men do it on the regs.
If you want to disconnect women from their power, how else do? You teach them shame and to not do that.
Yes, that's right. I didn't want to touch myself my whole childhood. That whole area of my body was called that whole area of my body. Like I couldn't even use a different word for it, and it's so sad. What the
vulva.
Fuck? It's so sad.
Pussy, once you're a teenager, vulva, teens and under. It is not a vagina. There's a vaginal canal that goes inside. It is not a vagina. It's a vulva.
That's so fucking crazy. And we still call it the vagina because we were misinformed about our own life-giving body parts. Whoa. Okay, thank you for blowing my mind right before the end of this episode. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So as we close off every episode, we're going to give you one win, one wow, and one wish. And so my win for the day is going to be that I have fucking rocked out this morning. Like, I mean, it's only almost 1 p.m. and I have had 2 full days of things in. And not that I'm bragging that I've like drained myself, but I'm just bragging that I have flowed and I have found the perfect time allowances and I have been present for everything that I have done. And I've also honored myself in all of them. And so I am bragging that I am a badass boss biatch today. And my wow is that I'm so fucking grateful that tonight my husband and I are going to see Tab Trey Anastasio Band in St. Louis. And I'm going to wear something super fucking cute and I'm going to dance my ass off and have so much fun. And I am just grateful that I have a partner that I have so many common interests with. And that is such a fucking good time, literally. That's our last name.
I love it.
Good Time. We changed our last name to Good Time.
Yeah, you got to do that legally, right? It's still on the to-do list.
Before the end of the year.
Chelsea, Good Time. It's so beautiful. It's so joyful. It's a joyful name. Thank you so much for sharing. And my wish is going to be related to the state of mind I'm in, which is wonderful, but also, well, I'm just wishing for myself, actually, to continue to stay grounded in my own heart, my own inner knowing. And it's okay if I don't know what to do. Maybe I'm not supposed to do something specific yet. So my wish is for me, and I actually had this wish the other day. Chelsea already heard it on a different Daily W, but I'm going to wish it again out loud for everyone to hear. I'm wishing for myself to honor my true internal compass and feelings and perspective, no matter what noise or input is happening outside of me. May I continue to and always and forever amplify the honoring of my own inner wisdom. Period. Full stop. End of story. That's my wish.
And so it is, and so it shall be, or something bigger, better, wetter than your hottest, wildest dreams. And because we ended on the pussy pleasure and pussy power, I just want to let everyone know, if you're watching, you know that I'm moving, and that's because I'm humping. I'm literally humping my pussy power into BatSheva's desire to really charge it up. So there you go.
I didn't even see that. Amazing.
There's extra little juiciness for you.
Oh my God, I love it. Chelsea's bringing all the pussy power, and she's also getting certified to be a coach in all things
sex,
related
love, and
to this kind of
relationships.
Sex, love, and relationships. So, you know, if you want more of that goodness too, like, you know where to look and where to find her. We also didn't want to forget, as well as wishing everyone Happy New Year, Happy 2026. We wanted to remember to just tell you that the whole purpose of this endeavor, besides just the expression of our love for each other, which exploded into a podcast, is to create a community ultimately of like-minded people to support each other. And we can't do that without you and others. And we welcome you and we invite you, of course, to like and subscribe and share the podcast. Please review it as well. It all helps us. And what I was actually going to say, though, is like join a community. It doesn't have to be our community. As Chelsea said, no place that's just like selling fear, a place that supports you to be the best version of you and gives you an opportunity to support other women or other people to be the best version of themselves. This is the goal. And this is Chelsea and my kind of like highest desire for ourselves and each other, that we'll all have several communities, or at least one that we call our own. And please, you know, we invite you to join the Brighter community. We're here. We have a Facebook page, and we plan to grow and expand throughout 2026.
Yay! Thanks so much for joining us and being with us for this ride. We hope that your day is brighter.
We love you. Bye.